Hey everybody, I've had people asking me how I get my top stitching so straight and even, so I'm going to do a quick video on how I do it. Everybody can do it differently, it doesn't matter. I do it the same on either machine. I have a Sailrite 111 and I have a Janome 7700, and I use the foot as a guide. So on the Janome, I set my needle, but I use the edge of the foot as a guide so that I can stay straight. On the Sailrite, I use my center presser foot as a guide, and it is an 1/8 inch seam allowance if I go by that. So here are some strap connectors that I just did. Let me see if you can show it. So these are 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 inch in, and I should have done a longer stitch, but I had it set up differently, so I messed them up, so I gotta do all 4 of them the same. But, so what I do is I have this is faux leather, and if you measure it in like ounces like leather is, it's about 2 ounces. So it's a rather thin, soft, flexible, faux leather. It's not interfaced. I'm going to take it apart. I have drawn a line in the center, and then I put double-sided tape. Don't use this unless you have a machine that can go through it, because it's leather tape. So sometimes my Sailrite doesn't like it. I try to keep it out of the seam allowances, but it is in this one just lightly. So I leave this little itty bitty space in between, almost where just the line. And then, so I fold my ends into almost touching the line, and then I fold it in half again. And then I use these little clips because they don't mark my stuff, and I hold it together. Okay, so now it's ready to go to the machine. This one, the ends are going to be raw because they're going to be sewn into a seam allowance. So let's get started. So this is my Sailrite 111, and I'm sorry if it's going to be backwards. I should have flipped it around. I did not. Normally I do. This is my center foot. So you can see there is, you'll see it in a minute. There's 2 feet. It's a compound walking foot machine. And my first stitch, I go on the folded edge and close it together. So I always do 1 back stitch, and I go slow. And I just follow this edge. And you can use a edge foot if you want. I typically don't unless I already have it on for some reason. So I'm going to take my other one, and I kind of do the same thing. And just keep going. Go slow. And I kind of press so that I know it's all staying there, but I'm letting the machine do the work. And I'm gonna pull it off. A lot of people say don't go the same way, or go the same way, don't go opposites. I have found that as long as you can fix it if it twists. So I'm going to go, and I just kind of twist it a little bit to keep it all in line. And if I had it, my stitch length a little longer, it'd be better, but I messed that up. So what I try to do is I stitch from the same side. So let's go back down this side. Now this is the side that has the double stick tape, so you want to watch your needle and make sure it's not getting gunky. And I do have, I keep little alcohol wipes in my drawer over here. So I do the same thing. Slow and steady. Now, if you do go off a little bit, just go slowly back to get that line straight. You don't want to just pick it up and move it over, because that's how you end up getting it looking crooked. All right, so here's my first 2 rows. My edge that is folded is shut together and my other one is rounded. So now I'm going to go from the top still. I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch in, and I'm going to use my foot again as a guide. So I'm using my center foot, and now I'm going off of the first line that I stitched. And we're going to do the exact same thing. And we're going to hope that my bobbin is good, because I did not check it. And I'm a thread trimmer. For y'all that don't know me, I like to trim my threads as I go. So I just kind of twist it and straighten it out before I do my next line. It's a little bit harder to keep it straight on video because I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way. And I always, I'll show you in a second. Y'all didn't see this part. Okay. So here are my 2 straps that we just made. And the backs look good also. I keep a piece of the leather or the fabric, whatever I'm working with me, so that I can do a test stitch before I do my stitching on my real piece, to make sure I have everything set up. Now I do know that I am going to lengthen my stitch for my straps, but I have it set up so that I can adjust, make sure my tension's right, and make sure I have everything the way I need it to. It's not getting stuck somewhere. And I do that for both machines. Here's my Janome. I do it for both machines, and I do it for every time I change the bobbin, every time I change the needle, and every time I change materials or thicknesses, because I want to make sure that we're getting a good stitch. So thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. I will answer questions if I can. It's just take your time. Don't speed through it. It's not a race to see how fast we can get it done. So thanks for watching. Bye.